Hello everyone, I'm Dylan Nicolatopoulos. I'm the other debater in Dr. Reeves' 3300 EMC class here at Texas Tech. This movie is the pro side of Kony 2012. I'm going to be talking about three main issues on why I think Kony 2012 was a good idea. The first is that it made people across the world open their eyes to what's actually going on in the world. Two, it was a plausible call to action for everyone. And three, it was an effective movie in the fact that it exploited the way we use viral videos and way we communicate today. So let's get started. The first point I wanted to talk about is that it made people open their eyes to the way we live today. The way we live today, especially in America, is this idea that we have protection around us, especially in America. We get to go to work, make our money, we're in college, we get to live our life, have a good time. That's not the way the world is for the majority of countries, especially in Africa. When people are constantly being threatened with their lives, there's a problem in the world, okay? People don't realize this, and a lot of people still today think that we live in this perfect world in which there's no problems and we get to live our lives perfectly. This video exploited the fact that there are people living in countries and situations that are so bad, sometimes we don't even realize it or we can't connect to them. I thought this video did a very good job in communicating what's actually going on in the world. A lot of people make the argument that, this oversimplified the way things are in Uganda. Look, at the end of the day, you have a video that has 85 million views right now that is, in essence, just telling a story. It is a true story that Jacob over there was abused. It gave real world accounts of what's happening. It may not be like that for everyone, but it was a single fact, and it was a single story, and that's all that's needed to tell the story of what's actually going on over there in Africa. It makes people open their eyes, and it brings the spotlight not only to Kony but to other dictators across the world. If nothing else, at the end of the day, you have 85 million people who are more informed about the world we live in, which is a good thing, I think. The second reason I thought it was a good idea was that it's a plausible call to action. Now, there's two prongs to this plausible call to action. The first is that it is an effective way for people to get involved with the world they live in. Look, he didn't ask for $200. He asked for a couple dollars, which made people actually want to contribute, because people can contribute a couple dollars. People are not donating money to the American Red Cross, to other humanitarian aid groups, because they don't think that the couple dollars that they have to give will be effective. And the only people that are giving are people who can donate large sums, like a couple $100s. The fact that this movie only asked for a couple dollars made it so that everybody can have a part in this, not only the rich, but everybody across the world. Especially here in America, we have a great, some of us are living in college still, a little low on the money side, but we can still give a couple dollars. It was plausible to people across the world. The second way this was plausible was it exploited the fact that the American government can be changed. What I mean by this is it's a success story. In the movie, at the beginning of the movie, he showed how the government viewed Africa. They are not going to go in with humanitarian aid unless there's economic benefits for the United States. He was able to change that. By the end of the movie, he showed how he got that letter from Barack Obama, how he got the trainers to go in there, how he changed American policy today by the way people view Africa. He got people involved. The American government did not think that so many people would, respond to this, or they would have, they would have gone into Africa early if they thought that this many people are concerned about it. The fact was that the Kony 2012 changed the way American people interact with the government and proved that we do have a very large role in the American society, and that we are not controlled by the government, and the fact that we have a say in what goes on. It's a success story. People, by the end of the movie, people thought that they can actually have a real world change in the way the world works, because of the success story of changing the government and the fact that they can contribute because it's only a couple dollars. The third way in which I thought this was a very good, well put together video was the fact that it exploited how we live today. If you sit in the back of the classroom, you know what I talk about. You see people on Facebook, on Twitter, sending emails, taking notes, texting. We live in a world in which we are constantly connected no matter where we go. Viral videos are a huge way to communicate with people. This director saw that and took advantage of it. He wanted to get connected to as many people and spread this message to as many people as possible. By making this 30-minute video, he was able to do that. He was able to say, hey, look at this, spread this to as many people as possible. And the fact that it was so touching and that it was so dramatic, it made people want to change it. It made people want to change the world we live in and made people spread it. The fact, CNN, Fox, and MSNBC have been saying, we've been covering this for 3 years. I mean, why haven't we gotten this kind of coverage? Well, the fact is, at the end of the day, you only have a 30-minute video clip on what's going on in Africa, and you don't have an effective call to action in the network world. In the network world, you have the 30-minute clip, you're on to the next story. You're not caring about what actually happens to the story that you just covered. You're just going on to the next because you need to keep your ratings up. This video had an effective call to action, and the fact that he said, we need to harp on this. We need to continue to make this a big deal for 2012 so that we can get the change that we need. Fox, CNN, and MSNBC, all those news networks, they don't do that. The fact that he saw that internet videos are the way to connect to people and the way that people are communicating and seeing what's going on in the world, I thought he did a great job seeing this and taking advantage of it and spreading information that is crucial about what's actually going on in the world. Basically, if this isn't the best way to communicate to as many people as possible, I don't know what is. If you look at it tonight, they have 85.5 million views right now. That is more internet views than Fox, MSNBC, all those news networks have. People watch internet videos more than they do news, which makes this an effective tool. The fact that he exploited it and made people realize that this is how we live made this a huge success story. And I thought he did a really good idea realizing that in the world and putting a story out there that really matters. So at the end of the day, I think, it opened everybody's eyes to what's actually going on in the world. If nothing else, it made people more informed. 2, it is a plausible call to action. It's a success story. People feel like they can actually have an effect by just donating a couple dollars. And 3, it's a realization to the fact that we live in the internet video, and it did a great job of communicating this to as many people as possible. Personally, I thought that Kony 2012 was a great video, and I look forward to more of these to come. Thanks.